3 EastEnders spoilers next week. Next week on EastEnders, it's a roller coaster of emotions. Just when you thought things couldn't get any more intense, Martin Fowler's funeral shakes up Walford, leading to some shocking exit plans. But that's not all. Vicki Fowler's new partner, Ross, has his own sneaky agenda, and Stacey Slater is back, clashing with both her daughter Lily and old rival Ruby Allen. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any spoilers, updates, and all the drama from Albert Square. Now, let's get into the biggest moments from April 7th to 10th. First, Martin Fowler funeral day arrives in emotional scenes. Martin's funeral is the kind of day that no one in Walford ever thought they'd have to face. His family and friends are doing their best to hold it together, but emotions are all over the place. There's a sense of disbelief in the air. How did it come to this? The market, the pub, the square itself, it all feels different without him. And as his loved ones brace themselves for a heartbreaking goodbye, the weight of his absence is sinking in. Lily is trying to be strong, stepping up for her younger siblings, who are struggling to process what's happening. But things get even more complicated when Stacey turns up, clearly worse for wear. She's been gone for weeks, and this is not how her family expected her to return. Sonia, always the one trying to keep things steady, does her best to help Stacey pull herself together. But Stacey's not ready to face it. How do you say goodbye to someone who's been a part of your life forever? Meanwhile, Vicki and Sharon are trying to keep their emotions in check. They know this day is going to be tough, but that doesn't make it any easier. Ross, on the other hand, is keeping a close eye on Vicki. He might be there under the pretense of support, but something about his presence doesn't sit right. It's as if he's got his own plans ticking away in the background, and with everything else going on, nobody's paying much attention. Yet. As Martin's coffin makes its way through the market, the reality of it all finally hits home. The men carrying him, Ian, Peter, Zach, Alfie and Harvey, are walking through streets Martin knew so well, past stalls and faces he saw every day. There's an eerie stillness in the air, as if even Walford itself is mourning. It's a moment that brings everyone together, no matter their past differences, because Martin was a part of them all. Inside the church, the grief is overwhelming. Bex is leading the mourners, holding herself together, but the pain is clear on her face. Every whisper, every glance exchanged between family and friends tells a story of loss. And when Kathy stands up to read her eulogy, it's almost too much to bear. The words stick in her throat, and for a moment, it seems like she might not be able to go through with it. But somehow, she pushes on, because that's what Martin would have wanted. As the service goes on, you can see it in their faces. Nobody knows what life without Martin is supposed to look like. He was always in the middle of everything, whether it was a row, a laugh, or just making sure people were looked after. Now there's this huge gap, and no one's quite sure how to fill it. But in the midst of all the grief, there's something else bubbling under the surface. Funerals bring people together, but they also have a way of stirring up unfinished business. So, while everyone is focused on saying goodbye, there's a sense that this is just the beginning of something bigger. Some people are grieving, some are reminiscing, but others, they're scheming. And with tensions running high, it won't be long before secrets start spilling and plans start unfolding. Martin's funeral might be the end of his story, but for Walford, the drama is far from over. 2. Ross marshals schemes to keep Vicki Fowler and Walford Ross. Deciding to go to Martin's funeral doesn't sit well with Sharon. She thinks it's a bad move, especially with Alfie still fuming at him. But Ross isn't the type to back down, and despite the tension, he goes ahead with it. Later on, he tries to smooth things over with Sharon, apologising for causing trouble with Alfie. But Sharon isn't having any of it. She knows exactly how Ross operates and makes it clear that a few nice words won't change anything. Meanwhile, Ross gets a mysterious phone call, and suddenly he's got a new plan in mind. He's dead set on keeping Vicki in Walford, even though she's already looking at flights back to Australia. She's ready to leave, but Ross? He's determined to make her stay, and he's not above playing a few tricks to make it happen. When Vicki refuses to budge, Ross changes tactics. He turns to Ian, dropping hints that it's Mark Jr. who should be stepping up to support their mum, Michelle. It's a sneaky move, but Ross knows exactly how to twist things to get what he wants. Before long, Vicki gets a call from Michelle, and just like that, the wheels are turning. Whatever Ross is up to, it seems to be working. But the big question is, why is he so desperate to keep Vicki from leaving? There's something off about his behaviour, and with tensions already running high, it won't be long before people start asking questions. What exactly is Ross hiding? And how much longer can he keep up this act before the truth comes out? 3. Grieving. Stacey Slater clashes with Lily Slater and Ruby Allen as an exit plays out. Lily's frustration with Stacey has been building for a while, and now it's spilling over. She feels completely let down. Stacey left when she needed her most, and now she's suddenly back, acting like things can just go back to normal. But Lily's not having it. The anger's been simmering, and at Martin's wake it all starts to bubble up. And she's not the only one feeling bitter. Ruby's got her own score to settle, and the tension between her and Stacey is reaching breaking point. Later, things get even messier when Stacey and Ruby cross paths again at the allotment. What starts as a tense chat quickly turns into something far more explosive. Old wounds are reopened, harsh words are exchanged, and before long, a truth comes out that could change everything. Ruby might think she had something real with Martin, but what if she was never the one he truly loved? It's a revelation that could break her, and after everything that's happened, it's only a matter of time before she reaches her limit. Meanwhile, Lily's not just angry, she's acting out. And when Avani encourages her to hit the bottle, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Stacey comes back to find her daughter drunk, and just like that, her attempt at making amends takes another hit. She's desperate to fix things, but Lily's having none of it. She's hurt, she's angry, and right now, she doesn't want to hear a single word from her mum. Then, as if emotions weren't already running high, the unthinkable happens. Martin's beloved fruit and veg stall goes up in flames. It's a gut punch to everyone who loved him, and the sight of it leaves Walford in shock. Stacey is horrified, and she promises Lily she'll get to the bottom of it. Whoever did this has crossed a line, and she's not about to let them get away with it. Jack warns Stacey to leave it to the police, but when has she ever been one to sit back and wait? She's convinced she knows who's behind it, and she's ready to go after them. But is she actually right, or is she about to make things even worse? The fire has rattled everyone, and if Stacey's not careful, she could end up stirring even more trouble. As the week comes to a close, Ruby's had enough. The constant battles with Stacey, the drama, the heartbreak, it's all too much. She decides it's time to go, leaving Walford behind. Jean tries to talk Stacey into making peace before it's too late, but when Stacey finally makes her move, she's already missed her chance. Zach delivers the news. Ruby's gone. So, is that really it for Ruby? After everything, is she gone for good? Or will she come back when we least expect it? And with so many loose ends left hanging, what happens next for Stacey, Lily, and the rest of Walford? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. And that's your lot for this week's EastEnders spoilers. It's been an emotional rollercoaster. Martin's funeral, fiery confrontations, and a shocking exit that's left Walford shaken. But trust me, the drama is far from over. What do you think Ross is really up to? Will Stacey and Lily ever see eye to eye again? And is Ruby's exit really the end of the road for her? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you reckon. If you don't want to miss a single twist, Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and tap the notification bell so you're always up to date with the latest spoilers and drama from Albert Square. That's all for now, but something tells me next week will be just as explosive. Stay tuned, and I'll catch you in the next one.